Welcome to Real Life Investing. This is Al getting in contact with you guys today. Going to be talking to you about Quant. Well, this is one of our favorites, we know. Well, let's go ahead and start looking at what we're dealing with. Quant is in a good position right now, under $100. So we'll start looking at this very nicely. First of all, let's see, the last 24 hours is down about 3%. No biggie there. Let's see. For the week, Quant is up about 8%. Right now, let's see. For the month, it has been down about 12%. And I think for the year, it has been down 28%. So just a little heads up on this. And like I said, we're just going to start seeing where Quant will probably be going in the next few weeks or so. But remember, what we say on the channel is not financial advice. However, if you like what you see today, we just ask you to like and subscribe to the channel. We're growing, and we ask you to grow with us. We really appreciate you guys for your feedback. And if there's anything that we can do for you as far as something you want us to research or something you want us to talk about, we will do so as well. Now, let's just keep moving a little bit, talk a little bit more about Quant, because one of the things we want to look at with this crypto is the total supply, which is going to be at 14.88 million. However, the circulating supply, as many of us are already familiar with, is at 12 million, which is less than Bitcoin. But speaking of Bitcoin, let's just go to the crypto markets as far as let's look at the CoinMarketCap overall and get an idea of what we're dealing with. The crypto market itself right now is at 3.1 trillion. Fear and greed is getting a little bit neutral here. That's good. So fear and greed is at 43. Our alt season's a little low, but that's all right. Let's see. Let's take a look at maybe some possible coins that we can look at. First of all, Bitcoin is a little bit over 90,000, which is good right now for us. Ethereum is above 3,000. XRP above $2 again. Now, I was talking to some of you guys a few weeks ago, mentioning the fact that we had certain coins that were at certain levels. One of those was XRP at under $2, but now it's over $2 again. And so just a heads up on that. When you see certain coins go down, realize that they're going to come back up. So don't be afraid of that. Kronos is still looking pretty good at right up under 10 cents. And let's see, Bitens or Tau is, from the last time we looked, that's jumped up a little bit. So just saying, things are not going to sit still. Not financial advice, but make sure that you're able to take advantage of coins at the time that they are down enough. Speaking of which, realizing that Quant is at 75 bucks. If anybody has their DCA or dollar cost average above 100, this is a great time to get that in. Quant is not always going to be at 75 bucks. Just like if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not always going to be at 90,000 either. One of the things I noticed that if you stay in the markets long enough, that's the way that you're going to make your money, not trading in and out, but by hanging in the market. One guy said, it's not time in the market, is having time in the market. Look at Bitcoin dominance a little bit here. I want you to see that it's going down just a tad bit. It's going down a little bit to 58.4%. Ethereum's gone up to 12.2% a little. So we're looking times right now. Let's just say it. Let's just tell it like it is. Times right now we're basically dealing with some challenging times. But at the same time, there will always be a demand for Ethereum. There will always be a demand for Bitcoin. And there's always going to be a demand for certain crypto, such as Quant. So why is Quant in such demand? Because Quant right now is the infrastructure of money, as far as money of the future, especially. So let's just go ahead and look at this a little bit, talk about Quant in more detail, see why it's in such demand. This is at the X site, or also known as Twitter. Says the FT highlights how FT is the Financial Times, which is, for those of us, how can I say, I believe this is going to be a big paper in Europe, and I could be. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting that right, but Financial Times is definitely a gigantic newspaper as far as like dealing with finances, etc. But it's very reputable organization. Just a little bit of a heads up. So the Financial Times highlights how Lloyd's Banking Group, we know that's based in London. Everybody's heard of Lloyd's of London, things of that nature, and other lenders such as NatWest, Barclays, and HSBC are leading UK banking into a new era through tokenized deposits and programmable money, a shift that could fundamentally reshape how money moves, settles, and is used across the economy. Tokenized deposits bring real cash into blockchain infrastructure, enabling automation, real-time settlement, and smarter financial products, from mortgages to payments and capital markets. So what I'm saying right here is you're looking at Quant being the leader of these. It says at Quant, we're proud to be working with leading banks on this transformation. As our CEO at G. Verdian notes in the article, tokenized deposits represent the evolution of electronic money into digital programmable money, unlocking efficiency, liquidity, and interoperability across the financial system. So it is about more than innovation. It's about building the next generation of money and the infrastructure that underpins it securely at scale and connected across institutions. So, and right here, this is an article from the Financial Times, one of your leading papers in the world. Says Lloyd's leads the charge into using blockchain to disrupt UK banking. I'm not going to go into that, but if you want to read that from the Financial Times, you definitely can. That should work out very nicely. But what we're doing here today, we're just showing you, how can I say, the future of money, and the future of money is in Quant, and this is really nice. Another little article here talking about how tokenized deposits are reshaping money in 2026. So this is from the founder and CEO of Quant, Gilbert Verdian. So he's given us a nice little breakdown. I'm not going to be able to go through the article right now as far as in detail, but I'll just kind of give you a little bit of the background. You can actually go to the Quant website yourself and read this if you like. It's a little bit hard to find, but at the same time, this is the January 6th article, or yeah. So I think it's the January 6th article, just in case you're looking for it. Now, but what we're doing right here, Mr. Verdian is talking about in detail the conversation about digital money being shifted. And so right here, he's talking about stable coins in this particular part. Stable coins, reality versus hype. Says the promised evolution in everyday money hasn't materialized at scale. Stable coins have found their niche, but it's narrower than the headline suggested. So what is happening here is mentioning dealing with tokenized deposits as well. Banking's digital revolution. This is definitely where Quant is coming into play as well. So you can read about this part. Like I said, I'm not going to stop too much through this. I'm going to move through this particular article. Like I said, it's on the site, just in case you want to see this one. Capital markets tokenization reaches inflection point. So just give us a heads up on this, that sooner or later, as the tokenization and capital markets develop, we're going to see some changes. So it may take a little while. The challenge with investing is the fact that even though these are revolutionary ideas, it sometimes takes some months, and unfortunately, sometimes it takes a year or two to really see the fruit of the labor here. So I'm just going to read this small part here. It says, for years, digital asset markets operate with innovative structures, but legacy settlements rails as tokenized deposits mature alongside tokenized securities. 2026 marks the phase where both sides of the transaction can operate on chain, enabling true delivery versus payment 24/7 settlement across jurisdictions. In other words, a lot of tokenization that was not possible in the past is going to be possible this year. It's going to be a lot of development and a lot of testing this year because all of the mechanisms are not fully in place as to what needs to be done. Now, and that's also why we're going to read this last paragraph of the article. Like I said, I'm skipping through to the most important parts of what I feel. It says the story of 2026 isn't about speculative assets or isolated pilots. It's about how mainstream financial institutions are systematically replatforming money and markets for a programmable, always-on future. It says, while stablecoins continue serving specific use cases, the institutional bet is on tokenized deposits as the scalable, regulated foundation for digital money. With DTCC approval, marking capital markets, blockchain integration, and regulatory frameworks solidifying, the evolution from experimentation to production is already underway. This year is going to be a year of experimentation, guys. And they're pretty much going to be working through the middle of the year, getting certain things in place. So I'm not going to say, full disclosure, I'm not going to say that things are going to move right away, but I'm thinking and I'm predicting maybe somewhere around the middle of the year when we start seeing some fruits of the labor and some how can I say, some results of the experimentation and execution coming to pass. I think we're going to see some higher results. My personal thoughts on the matter right now, this is a good time to start accumulating Quant, though. Speaking of which, let's go to a nice little article that we see here. This is from January the 5th from Artem, and I don't want to mess his name up, but I'm going to try to pronounce it. Shindetsky, I believe. So it says the best crypto to buy right now. One of those is going to be Quant. So keep that in mind. Let's go down, look at it. Quant is positioned as an interoperability and middleware project with its Overledger technology aiming to connect public blockchains, private ledgers, and traditional financial systems. So I'm not going to read too much more of that, but this is just giving you an idea. This is from the tradersunion.com website. And this just came out like a day or two ago. So I'm trying to give you guys as much updated information as possible. So just a heads up, Quant is still one of your hottest cryptos out there, mainly because it has the utility. And I'm a little bit, how can I say, disappointed in the fact that the market has not moved that much as we thought it was going to move as of late. But at the same time, what we're doing is, since we have some surefire bets, which is one of those is Quant, we're taking a look at the surefire bets. Now, if those other particular ones, if some other how can I say, cryptos y'all want me to look at, I will do as well. But the main thing is I'm staying with the fundamentals. Those are the most fundamentally sound, those that have the most potential, and those that are going to be around for the longest. Quant is going to be here for years and years and years to come. Quant is going to be in greater demand than ever. So all the things that we know about Quant say stay with it and stick with it. A lot of other cryptos out there are going to pass away, but Quant will be here. And so keep that in mind. Right now, the price is pretty good. I'm noticing that over the 6-month chart here, that the price of Quant is kind of gone down compared to what it was. But just like the price of Bitcoin, guys, remember when Bitcoin was at 120,000 and now it's at 90? That doesn't mean that, hey, I'm not going to buy any Bitcoin. That means that let me accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can before it gets back over 100,000. So for those of us who are investing, these are tough and challenging times. And it is frustrating, but I want you guys to understand if we stick with the fundamentals and stick with the cryptos we know and the ones that are going to do well, we're going to be just fine. And I want to say that Quant is one of those top cryptos. This is Al, Real Life Investing. You guys have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye.
Please share, like, comment, and subscribe to Real Life Investing. And thank you for watching.